are live. Adoken.
Thank you.
Alright. This is very... I plan to go live a bit earlier, so... This is very kind of, like, rushed. How are we all doing? Well, let me turn it down. What is Boba's real name? Is Luke. Yeah, so I wanted to put out my in-depth trailer breakdown today, but things have come up, so it will be going out tomorrow. That is when the full breakdown. I've recorded it. Man, we covered a lot, but obviously we can talk a bit about Superman, quite a lot about Superman, I assume, in today's stream. There is a ton. There is a ton coming out of that trailer. Ooh, a new Ultraman. Interesting. They are calling... Okay, so a new toy listing just came out for Ultraman, and he is called Ultraman. I feel validated. The toy is literally called Ultraman. To all the Ulysses bitches out there. I'm joking, but it does feel a bit good. I just, everyone's like, Boba, it's not Ultraman, it's Ulysses. It's like, I'm pretty sure it's Ultraman. But the thing is, I do want to stress, just because he's called Ultraman in name, that doesn't mean he's not an amalgamation of various characters. You know, some of you... Yeah, Silhouette Animator, thank you very much for the super chat, buddy. You're saying Parasite. Ultraman in the comics is literally an alternate universe evil Superman from the Crime Syndicate. They haven't brought over an evil Superman. I doubt that. I think, the clone theory could be true. Something like that. Who knows? Sorry, I'm half distracted now. Trying to, post about this. Right, okay. Can I... Where did that fit? I want to show it on the stream. Okay, so I'll show you guys the Ultraman figure that's just popped up, so bear with me here. The in-depth breakdown, by the way, I haven't cut it. I've recorded it today. It's around 50 minutes long. So after I've cut it down, it's probably going to be like 40-something minutes. Right. Look how purple he is. But you see on the bottom here... DC's Ultraman. Oh, oh. So, there's Ultraman. Your boy. Very purple indeed. And lo and behold, by the way, today, my Superman trailer reaction and first impressions breakdown got copyrighted. Of course it did. Thank you, Warner Brothers. Water Tower music. What did I tell you? The music. The music. It's the Water Tower music under WMG. Ultraman. Okay, so yes, confirmed Ultraman, and don't read into it too much because James Gunn's probably done some original things. Well, I say original, but blended in things, multiple things into one. Ulysses could still be his real name. Yeah, you could cope with that. That would be pretty funny. So Ultraman is the title and Ulysses is the guy's name. Okay, thank you for another... Well, we got a new super chat from Mr. Moore81. Shout out to you, my friend. Great to see you here. thank you so much for supporting the channel. Keep it up. Super sticker. Let me pull that up. Where is the super chat folder so I can bring it up on stream? Yes, I've also seen the Lex Power Suit toy. I think Lex in his war suit is in the trailer. I get into this in my in-depth breakdown, but we can get into it in this stream even more. But initially there was a bit of a theory going around that, okay, is there some guy at the end there who could be Lex, but it could be Ultraman, it could be the Hammer of Baravia, but I think that they could be going all out, all-star Superman Lex Luthor after taking the is it the Evo Gene serum? Basically something that grants you Superman's powers for 24 hours that Superman originally made for Lois. But in this movie, I think that you know, that wouldn't be copy and pasted from the comic, but it will influence how Lex creates a serum that he has possibly been giving to Ultraman, the Hammer of Baravia. This is why, for example, the Hammer of Baravia can produce heat vision. Let's just say that's not a technology. I think that Lex has been experimenting with this Evo Gene serum. Eventually, when nothing else works, he loses his shit. He takes it himself. He puts on a Lex Trooper suit, which is more green and purple. Could be the coloring of the toy, to be fair. And then him and Superman go at it, you know? But I get that. That's like a very quick summary of my thoughts that I get into in the video. How many times have I watched a trailer? Dude, like, yeah, to do the breakdown, I've watched it so many times. Like, again, I know my breakdown's going to come out late, but I hope it will be worth it to those who watch it, because I really put a lot of work into that. But thank you, Mr. Moore, for the super chat.
Thank you.
I have no idea. Wait, are the other emotes still not working?
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
I have no idea. I knew somebody was going to say that. Confirmed Lex and Soups get freaky. But can you hear Penguin's voice? Because last live stream they weren't working, and I don't know why. Okay, you can't hear the voice, so it's not working again. Wait, you can hear the voice? You can. Ooh. Good. Very good indeed. Jen Sithari. I have seen the power suit. Now, I don't know if I should pull that one up on the stream just because I guess it could be spoilery, you know? But, I mean, I feel like everyone already knows. But shout out to Jen Sithari for the super chat. Wait, actually, let me put my super chat goal up so these count towards the goal. And I need to put the correct Discord link in the description of this stream so people can actually join, because I didn't realize that it was broken for a long time. Okay. William says, hanging with my family, but wanted to drop on real quick and say, hey, and your Superman trailer video was the best. Thank you, William. But that is nothing. You ain't seen nothing yet. Tomorrow's video is going to be the best one. Honestly, yeah, yesterday's trailer reaction was like, I know it was a long video, but that was just me talking from the top of my head. I sometimes don't like doing reactions for the reason that I don't do the best job at breaking down as what I could if I, you know, took notes and actually looked at the trailer a billion times, not like straight after seeing it for the first time. So tomorrow's video will be better because it's going to be, you know, quite a prepared one. But thank you for saying that. Woods, thank you very much for your super chat.
I just, oh.
Where are you, my friend? Yeah, sorry it took me so long to get the reaction up yesterday. I think, you know, what you have to remember is most people's reactions are like 6 to 10 minutes long. Mine was like 27 minutes, so that took me like 5 hours to do. So, like, it released at like 4:45, and I uploaded it around 10 p.m. So that was me non-stop, like, gunning and editing and trying, you know, recording, cutting, editing, uploading, thumbnail. I'm not saying my edits are great or anything, it's just that's how long it takes. Woods.
Thank you.
There was so much going on in the trailer. I was so overwhelmed. Oh, me too, man. If you saw me react to it, I was like, you know, it was hard to take it all in. Gonna be an absolute banger movie. Hammer of Baravia is definitely Lex, right? I don't know, actually. I don't know if I would say I've fully gone off the theory that the Hammer of Baravia is Lex, but I think the Hammer of Baravia could be separate from Lex. There's two things in my mind. I think Lex could be supplying this serum that gives the Hammer of Baravia the powers to take on Superman, basically Superman's powers. I think it could be Lex doing that to himself, using the serum, and he's in the Hammer of Baravia suit, posing as the Hammer of Baravia. This goes back to what I was saying a few minutes ago, that I've got a new theory that I'm going to explore more in tomorrow's video, basically where it's very All-Star Superman in the sense that I didn't actually think that Gunn would do Lex Luthor taking this serum like he does in All-Star Superman. I really didn't think so, but then you see that bit towards the end of the trailer where you see a little you see Superman flying in like the pocket dimension place, right? And you see this like person, this figure standing atop this portion of a building, like kind of floating in zero grav. And then that person lets out heat vision. Now, the more you zoom in, the more it looks like an egghead. Like your boy Lex Luthor's egghead. Now, I can't confirm that because the more you zoom in, the more it loses resolution, and the more it could, you know, you could say it's Ultraman, you could say it's the Hammer of Baravia. My argument against that would technically be, I think if it was the Hammer of Baravia, the helmet is so, like, juggernauty that it's not that big. Like, it's just like, it's like if I shave my head off, it's like a little egghead shape. You could then argue that it's Ultraman, but the figure isn't super, like, you know, there's not a black suit, so to speak. So, after that toy reveal today, especially, but this theory was already existing before the toy reveal today, people were saying, is that Lex in the war suit that Superman is dodging the heat vision of? And I think it could be. I think Lex, and this is why if you reverse engineer Lex taking something that gives him Superman's powers temporarily, well, that means he could have, well, like, think about it, right? The Hammer of Baravia can also use heat vision, can also fly, can also throw Superman down into the street to the point of where those citizens have to help him up. I think that if Lex isn't in the Hammer of Baravia war suit, he initially, before taking the serum himself, is giving this serum to Ultraman and the Hammer of Baravia. That's if they're two separate people. That's why they can fly. That's why they can do heat vision. That's why... But we're gonna have to wait and see. Like, that's where the theory muddies a bit into, like, you know, who really is the Hammer of Baravia? Is it Ultraman in that suit? Is Ultraman still a clone of Superman? Is the Hammer of Baravia somebody else that Lex is funding, but also experimenting with the serum? Is it is it Lex in the Hammer of Baravia armor? I think it might be neither of those things, and Lex will be separate and just basically take the serum. Like, he will put on a Lex Trooper suit, and that will be his war suit. Initially, I thought that the war suit would be Lex putting on the Hammer of Baravia suit, but now from the toys and stuff, it does look to be like one of the Lex Trooper suits that we see. You know those Lex Troopers beating up Superman with the baton? It's basically one of those without the helmet. So the Apollo thing's been a rumor for a long time, but I don't know about that. But thank you very much, Woods. Appreciate you, man.
Guy like me. Getting all that?
Right. Jake, I mean, I wouldn't really look at it that way when you say, would they really do 3 different Superman-powered antagonists? If the serum is temporary, then technically you could only give, you could only have those powers so much. But I think that's on the table, because no matter what, the Hammer of Baravia can fly and use heat vision. Ultraman has the strength to smash Superman's face into concrete, and Ultraman can also fly. And then, thirdly, somebody is shooting a heat vision at Superman towards the end of the trailer. And it doesn't look to be Ultraman or the Hammer of Baravia. So, do you see what I mean? Interchangeably, I don't think it's necessarily 3 separate people with Superman's skills and powers. I think the serum thing from All-Star Superman is basically what they're going to adapt, but in an innovative way, where instead of Superman creating a serum, Lex creates it. Now, he could create that out of Superman's DNA. Also, in that toy, you see Krypto, and the toy that was revealed was a part of the Luthor Corp lab. So you see where I'm going with this? I don't know. I think, I'm on the right track there. Buster Barnes, thank you very much for your super chat. Welcome to any new people joining the stream. I can see that there's, well, like 240 people here right now. Feel free to get involved in the live chat. I'll try and get to you if I can. You can send in a super chat to prioritize the question, but you do not have to. I do want to repeat that. You don't have to. Just bear with me while I try and get to as many people as I can. But before I do, actually, I need to read out Buster Barnes' super chat. Anyway.
Like me. Getting all that, and I could have a better life.
Right, Buster Barnes, thank you. I'm thinking Peacemaker will already be in the DCU. And the second version is from another dimension where him and his family are loved by the people. You know what? The more I saw people saying that, the more I think it does make sense in how, even though I presented one theory, one interpretation in my video, there is another theory in where, yes, Peacemaker's already in the DCU. The way they acknowledge the universe change is still done, but it's not as big as what we think. And I totally forgot that James Gunn said that they acknowledge it, but it's not as big as what you could, what you'd think. So therefore, if the whole universe shift isn't a big thing, then maybe it does stand to reason that the other Peacemaker we see through that pocket dimension, Monsters Inc. type door, probably isn't the DCU Peacemaker, and it's just truly, another world's Peacemaker or something like that. But it just happens to be that because there's a storyline like that in Season 2, it led a lot of fans, including myself, to think, oh, well, maybe that is the DCU Peacemaker, and that's what they're doing. But upon further thoughts, I think I am starting to agree more with the idea that it just seems that way, because the story in Season 2 is such that they're going to some kind of alternate reality where Peacemaker, White Dragon, and Peacemaker's brother is still alive, and he also became a hero. And Peacemaker is a regressed version of the one that we're used to. He's his father. You get where I'm going with this. I think that's what it is. But then that makes me intrigued as to what, how are they going to address the universe change? No, I'm pretty sure. I don't know. Is there like a little Snyderverse debate going on in the comments? Right. But yeah, thanks for bringing that up, Buster Barnes, because I want to talk about that, and we'll probably do that in a discussion series video next week. You know, we're probably going to talk a shite ton about Superman in a discussion series video. But there's, yeah, Peacemaker to talk about as well. Why does it have to acknowledge it? It doesn't have to. We just know that they're going to. And Gunn said that it's not going to be done in like a big way, so I wouldn't worry about it being a convoluted thing. That's why, you know, what we're talking about is that other Peacemaker at the end of the trailer might not be anything to do with the DCU thing. It just happens to be a separate storyline where there's another Peacemaker in Season 2, which makes it look like it's the whole DCU theory thing. Right. We have another super chat from Rob. Rob, thank you very much for the $10 super chat. Sorry, I'm only just getting to it. Do I think they changed Lex's heat vision from green for the trailer? Ooh. That's a good idea. I didn't even think about that. That would be pretty cool. Yeah, there could be misdirects like that in the trailer. Yeah. Yes, I do want to do a news roundup about the Wonder Woman stuff, the Batman 2 stuff that Gunn told us today. Nothing crazy, but I'm going to save that until Monday. Like, tomorrow's video is going to be the in-depth trailer breakdown, so a very Superman-heavy week. And then any extra news that comes out, in addition to today's news about Wonder Woman, the Batman 2, and there's an Entertainment Weekly article, and, you know, I'll save that till Monday just in case there's any more stories that come out now that, of course, the Superman marketing is fully gonna, you know, explode. The news about Wonder Woman, for those who don't know, is that James Gunn addressed that he was basically asked, is there anything going on with Wonder Woman? And he's like, nothing that can be said publicly, but encouraging for sure. Something like that. So that means, don't worry, Wonder Woman's cooking in the background. It could be an update to the animated series that he said was he was trying to get in the works back in 2023 now, a couple of years ago. But anyway, Rob sent in a $10 super chat. Just wanted to pop in and say secure the crisps. Trailer looks great. Thank you so much, Rob. And I'm glad that you dug the trailer as much as I did. Paradise Lost. You know, the series is set before Diana's birth, so Wonder Woman's birth. You could have her narrate it. You could have... I don't know. It's just any idea I try and explore there other than the end of the actual show. It's not really... It doesn't give me enough oomph of a Wonder Woman debut. Like, the idea of a Wonder Woman debut. And I also feel like Diana narrating it is... a bit too backseaty for such a big character. Do you know? Wait, so the first time we're ever going to see Wonder Woman in the DCU is just her narrating Paradise Lost? Like, that's not the way you want to introduce her character. So, I don't know about those theories. Okay. Yep. How about Ana de Armas as Wonder Woman? I would prefer Adriana Arjona? Bix from Andor. She is my absolute #1 fan casting for Wonder Woman. Like, that is something I'll happily say right now. My fan casting, like, I very rarely say this until I found someone. Right now is Adria Arjona. She's 33 years old. That's so creepy. Like, she's just a little bit older than me. I say that's creepy, by the way. It's just like, I remember always being, like, younger, and, you know, when DC actors would be cast, they're like, oh, yeah, that's, like, Wonder Woman's age and Batman's age. And now it's like, boom, now I'm, like, kind of the age, almost, of... Oh, man, life flies by. Everyone always mentions the height. What do people not understand about movie magic? Do people know how tall Gal Gadot... Like, do you know how tall her bloody boots were as Wonder Woman? Or how much they elevated her height? It's not a big deal. Movie magic. How do you think they shot Lord of the Rings? With Elijah Wood and Ian McKellen, you know, clearly not being the height difference of a hobbit and a wizard. So, You don't like Adria Arjona either? No! No! I think it's good fan casting. Right, where are we? Okay, so after Rob's super chat, we have Creative Burst send in $5. Thank you so much, man. Send a little
Thank you.
There we go.
Means I could have a better life.
Means I could have a better life. God, Penguin still makes me laugh. One thing I really like is that the trailer focused on dynamics Superman has with both Lois and Lex. Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, you know, obviously we could get into the whole Lex thing a bit more. Mind you, speaking of, we did have an Entertainment Weekly article today come out, and there's a picture of the moment where Superman throws the desk across the room. Where is it?
The city streets are crowded.
Oh, so annoying. I'm gonna freaking do that. Bear with me. So, you know, that gives us a bit more of a glimpse. Alright, so for those of you who haven't seen this, here we go. Luther's just like, bitch. But also, yeah, the Lois thing. I talk about the Lois debate that's happening right now in tomorrow's video. You know, when I say Lois debate, I mean people having an issue with the way Clark reacted, the way Lois was asking questions. I think if you have an issue with, I don't think there should be an issue taken with that. They were doing an interview, so Lois, as a reporter, would ask the tough questions that the world would be asking. Her questions literally do make sense. Yes. You can have two people be right about, like, two things can be true at the same time. I think people forget that. Clark has the best intentions. He's doing the right thing in the sense of saving people. Lois is literally correct in saying that, well, if you basically, whether you like it or not, represent the United States of America, at least that's the way the world perceives it, because, hey, Superman, you're seemingly from the West. You wear red and blue, like, you have an American accent. So, you know, when you fly over illegally entering another country's aerospace to stop a war, kind of forcibly stop a war, that could be an act of war in of itself, which even though you wanted to save lives, that could still lead to a bigger war between the USA and Moravia, thus leading to even more lives lost. So, you know, there is consequences. but you understand both sides of the argument. And all Lois was doing there was asking what a reporter would ask. But Clark gets frustrated because one thing about Clark and Superman is that he's got such a purity of good to him that he can't really... It's borderline incomprehensible. And, you know, David Corenswet doesn't like to say it's naive, but an easy word to use would almost be naive, but it's still not the right one to say because it's incomprehensible to him that, like, why can't the world just clearly see the most simple baseline truth that you should do the right thing in any scenario? So that means no war, no this, no that. You just do the right thing. But life is not as black and white as that. And Superman likes to, as David Corenswet went on to say, kind of focus on the good and push down the bad and not really think about the bad things, just do the good thing, you know. And Lois is like a utilitarian, and she would kind of seek the good for the most amount of people, where Clark just jumps in puppy dog mode as per pure Superman spirit. So I don't have a single issue with that opening scene in the trailer, because if anything, it provides an absolutely brilliant dynamic of Lois and Superman's worldviews, you know? So, some people saying that Lois is woman-splaining or whatever, and Clark is just being overreactionary. Like, I just, like, bro, okay, like, no. It's just, I kind of feel like playing the meme of Joaquin Phoenix and Joker just being like, you wouldn't get it. That's how I feel. Mark, Angela Spiker actually, you know, she is the engineer who has the chrome metallic skin as well. So, I say in tomorrow's video, funnily enough, because the engineer has spikes to her in this iteration, it kind of made me laugh. Like, I was kind of like, did you kind of just take the character's name, Angela Spiker, and literally run with that? Because she's very spiky? I mean, do you know what I mean? It sounds ridiculous to say that, but it kind of is like, hey, Gunn was like, well, her name's Angela Spiker, so let's do like what she does in the comics. She can use liquid nanotech, nano stuff, and but let's make it spiky at points. I know that sounds so stupid to say, but why is she so spiky? But to be fair, like, I know it's like this black metal initially, but the further she gets in the movie, as you see in the Metropolis Meteors Stadium, she's getting more metallic. The more she's wounded, the more her nanobites are like healing her, and you can see the kind of skin. So maybe I have a screenshot of that. You see that? You see like the little bit of chrominess to that shit? You see that? So I think that could be going on. All right. Where were we? After Creative Burst, we have Silhouetted Animator. Check Insta DMs. Okay. What, right now? Thank you very much for the super chat, dude, by the way. Appreciate you as always.
Thank you.
Oh, just realized that the Superman image is still there. A 4-second video. Bear with me. Right. Instagram. What? Oh my god. Came out of nowhere. That's brilliant. I'm gonna have to like pull that up on stream somehow. That made me laugh. Thank you, Silhouette. That's the last thing I expected to like pop up in the DMs. It's like Boba. What do you expect at Comic-Con if Superman is a success? Well, I think Gunn said that they might not have a huge presence at Comic-Con this year, but I still expect, well, expect is the wrong word, but I do think that they can have things to show. Like, I don't see why there's any reason why they can't do another Peacemaker trailer, show off a Lanterns kind of thing. We'd be lucky to get footage, but they could show footage if they want to, if you know what I mean. They could reveal the Supergirl suit. So you see what I mean? They've absolutely got things to show if they want to. So okay, Woods again.
Thank you.
Thank you. Right, sorry. Do you think we're going to get a legit Justice League movie, or would it more so be a Trinity movie? And what is your ideal Justice League lineup? I think it's a tough one. The Justice League don't exist yet in the DCU, as Gunn said. That's a fact. I think we will get a Justice League movie eventually, but I don't know what iteration of that, what we're gonna get, because I suspect at the end of the, I don't know, the Peacemaker thing's a bit confusing, because if that scene is set after Superman in the Peacemaker trailer, it shows that Maxwell Lord is still running a corporate superhero sponsored team. Now that's not necessarily a bad thing, because Hawkgirl and Guy Gardner might be okay with being in a team like that, because Maxwell Lord brings together the Justice League International in the comics, and I think that could be what Gunn is writing as his next project. It might not be a Justice League, but it could be a Justice League International, where you bring in Guy Gardner, Blue Beetle, Martian Manhunter, like, dare I say it, he could bring in Batman, who's a part of that team, and others. So the thing is, obviously with Wonder Woman being claimed to be this cornerstone of the DC studios for the next 10 years in the plan, where is she going to fit in? How is she going to fit in? When and where? But I think we will eventually get an actual Justice League. But I think you need to wait for maybe Brave and the Bold to pass by, and whatever. But yeah, so I guess I would agree with that. I think I've said this before. I suspect we'd get like a Trinity / a World's Finest movie first. And some people say, but that's BVS again. I actually fully disagree with that. Like, BVS, yes, it has Wonder Woman, Superman, and Batman in it, but it's not like a through and through Trinity movie. Like, they come together right at the end. A Trinity movie would be like, from the get-go, these guys are working together. There's no drama between them, like Batman and Superman. They would be united from the get-go, so that would already be a very different movie. It's not BVS again. So yeah, and my ideal Justice League lineup, well, I'm quite simple. I want, obviously, the Trinity. Barry Allen's Flash. Green Arrow would be dope, but I'm really coping as for wanting Green Arrow in the DCU. I don't know if we're going to get that. Martian Manhunter, but who knows what could be going on there with Justice League International, because I really think Gunn, if he's doing that, would bring in Martian Manhunter in that team. I'm forgetting. I feel like they're going to leave Aquaman out for a while, you know? Like, especially given that we have Lobo. No, I like Wally West. I'm just a Barry Allen guy, you know? I did see that, Dan, from New York. I did indeed. I'll be talking about that fairly soon. Right, Woods. Silhouette Animator. Okay. Sorry, I only just saw this now. I sent you a 4-second thing there. Thank you, man. Oh, yeah, Jon Stewart. How could I forget? I think... this is what I mean. Justice League still feels like 5 years away because I think Jon Stewart has to, like, graduate from Lanterns. And don't forget, Jon Stewart is a rookie in the series. I would be pretty happy if Hal somehow survived. Hassam, hello Boba, hello there. Thank you for being a member for 6 months. And Buster Barnes, the latest super chat here. We are finally up to date. Flash better be in the first Justice League. The question is, what Flash? I mean, you know, my preference, but... Eldon says, Boba, interested to see your thoughts on this. Do you think the engineer working with Lex Luthor Corp is before or after being in the Authority? It's before, absolutely. I think the kind of arc that the engineer has in the Superman movie is that she's working with Lex out of a shared vision, maybe, that Luthor could give to her. You know, Maria Gabriela de Fria said that they want a similar thing, but it's going to come down to, is she willing to pay the price or go to, you know, she worded it like that. So I think at a certain point in the movie, you know, you're going to have the engineer be like, I can't do what you're asking of me or something like that. And she will reject Luthor. And it sounds a bit tropey, but I assume it might be something like that. She's not willing to sacrifice her soul to, like, do his bidding, and she might go off and become the anti-hero that we know who eventually gets into the Authority. Yeah, Superman could help her, yeah. I'd really like a conversation like that. That'd be really cool. Knocked out of the park with the... Yeah, I think Guy Gardner... Sorry, Nathan Fillion. You know, you don't have to like his design, but he does make a good casting for Guy Gardner. Like, truly. If you've read the comics with Guy Gardner in it, like... Nathan Fillion checks out. I think people will actually really be stunned if he... As of when maybe eventually we see a Guy Gardner accurate suit. So even if he kept the bowl cut, if he had like a similar look to the comics, I think people would be like, wow, okay, yes. Oh, thank you very much, guys, for the super chats. Who do we have? Is that Isaac? Isaac. Thank you very much for the $5. Where are you? Okay, so number 1, Superman. Number 2, Wonder Woman. Number 3, Martian Manhunter. 4, Barry Allen. 5, Aquaman. 6, Metamorpho. That's my Justice League. Metamorpho would be sick. Yeah. But I suspect that he could go on. Again, we've still got a lot to learn, but it would be kind of cool if Mr. Terrific left Lord Tech, took Metamorpho with him to help hone his powers, started the Terrifics, kind of went somewhere from there on out. But, you know, Metamorpho in the Justice League would be a very, very handy addition. Like, he's a very powerful character. Aquaman, though, I have a feeling that he's going to be just somewhere else. I don't know. I don't see them doing Arthur Curry anytime soon. Kayla! No worries. Good to see you here, Kayla. Oh man, I keep yawning. I didn't get much sleep last night because I was doing the breakdown, believe it or not. I was up to like 4 a.m. Writing notes for the in-depth breakdown, but then today I had real life stuff to do, so I couldn't really get it out. Hello, Droga. Yaddle. Right, Silhouetted Animator. Again, man, thank you so much for the super chats.
Meant I could have a better life.
Meant I could have a better life.
Guy like me. Getting all that?
Where are you, Silhouetted Animator? God damn it. Are you being serious? Jenna Ortega as Wonder Woman? No. Stop it. I never know with you guys if you're trolling when it comes to stuff like that, because sometimes people are dead set on certain fan casts and it's just like, bruh. Right. Someone tell Gunn about the Intergang blurb on the newspaper Copper's reading in Peacemaker Season 1. Midway in the scene where Adrian tries to get arrested. I don't remember that Intergang. I mean, they could, you know, technically Intergang could be out there. But yeah, it would be cool for him to pick that up. An Intergang blurb. Was there a headline? Methinks that's a non-canon too. Oh, right, okay, I get what you're saying. Yeah, maybe Gunn's gonna leave it out. Maybe. Oh, was there a reference to Black Adam? Makes sense. God damn, like every time I think of Black Adam, I'm just like, I'm so glad we dodged that bullet. Like, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson taking the reins of the actual DC cinematic universe would have been an absolute clusterfuck of a mess. To put it very bluntly, it would have been spectacle. I'm sure he would have made it, like, I'm sure he would have tried, but he would have made it a Hollywood spectacle, which some people would have ate up, but ultimately, I don't think it would have had any substance. And, you know, I don't want a Fast and Furious franchise in the DCU. Robert Downey Jr. as Wonder Woman. Woods. Another one. Meant I could have a better life.
I could have a better life.
Thank you, my friend. Appreciate the super chats, guys. Means a lot. Brutal. Fancy seeing you here. Where have you been, Brutal? Hey guys, just to pop in and say hi. I can't stay, but I hope everyone is doing great, Bob. I hope you're doing good, brother. Absolutely, man. It's good to see your face, even if briefly. Hope you're doing well, man. Alright, last one. No worries, man. Do you think it would be overplayed to have a Batman versus Superman movie? Yes, they're not gonna do that. They would do the opposite, you know? Yeah, I mean, I can imagine the most of what will happen is like a World's Finest in the animated series, and where they start off almost on the wrong foot, but they quickly respect each other. It's not like a real drama. It's more like Superman and Batman comedically kind of clash with their worldview on how to handle things, but they quickly can't help but like each other, and that would, you know, that kind of I don't know if I'd want to say rivalry, but initial kind of hey, you're a Boy Scout, and then Clark's looking at Batman, but like, hey, you take things too far, but then they're like, oh, hey, I kind of fuck with you though. That would be, I think, at the extent of any kind of tension. Gal Gadot should just return. Mustafa, no. We may as well continue with a new casting. A new casting of Harley Quinn, if that ever happens. I like Margot Robbie, I'm just saying. Give us new people. For the most part. But Woods, meant I could have a better life.
Guy like me.
Oh?
Getting all that meant I could have a better life.
Righty-ho. Yeah, Batman would think Superman is too naive, and Superman would be like, Batman's too harsh at first, but then they'd grow to be friends. Yeah, that's like... And the thing is, if we do get anything near World's Finest, like, Gunn's probably going to have to address their differences, because if they haven't met before... But who knows what if Superman... Like, I suspect he's been active for like a couple of years, at least. Who knows who he's run into? But they might just not go way back. He might have run into him, but... Luffy says, BobaTalks, Margaret Qualley for Wonder Woman best fan casting. What's she been in? Poor things. I recognize her, but what have I seen her in? Oh, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Okay, I remember her. That's all I remember her from. I haven't seen Substance. But I do need to watch it. The Maid. No, yeah, I really want to watch Substance just for, like, obvious Clayface-esque reasons. I know what it's all about, though, but I haven't got around to watching it. Yeah. I can't really say, man. I think, for me, it's still Adria Arjona. Because I don't have a... I don't really have a good, or like, informed opinion of what's her face, Margaret. Do you think the Welcome to Metropolis prequel Junior novel is canon to the DCU? I will just come out and say no. Like, just like my rule of thumb is the fact that it says it's inspired by on the front page. It's not written by James Gunn. At best, you could argue that James Gunn could have given like bullet points to another writer to be like, okay, you're writing a kid's prequel novel kind of thing. Here's what you could touch on, and but I would say maybe loose canon at best. It's like the Batman one. Like, I really don't believe that Matt Reeves is like, yes, all of this happened. Again, if I ever get an interview, I would ask that. Long story long, I would say probably at best loose canon. I will still break it down on the channel to like argue the hypothetical canon of what is presented. I swear every stream these days has some weird argument going on in the background of the chat. There's something going on, yeah. I think the more people, like, these days, we've gone from 100 to 200. Today there's like, we've broke 300 concurrent viewers, so at some point you're gonna get someone trolling in the background, or It's hard to focus on though, because I don't have a bunch of mods. Because normally you guys are well behaved. Alright, who else do we have? Did we get a new super chat? Oh, sorry, Silhouette. Hold on. And right as I was about to bring your super chat up, my page crashes. Mod application. I can't be arsed with that, man. Like, what I do is if I see people fucking around, I'll just literally either mute them for like 30 minutes or just hide them from the channel, and then that account can never comment again. I'm like, look, you fuck about, you find out, bitch. Don't have time for that. How's it going, Deadstrike? Silhouette Animator says with the $5 super chat. To be honest, if similar events to Stargirl and Doom Patrol occurred in the DCU, I wouldn't mind. Not much in those shows conflict with the DCU continuity so far. I suppose not. I'm just trying to think. I think if anything would conflict most, it would be the potential of the JSA in Stargirl. But they could adopt it. Yeah, in theory. That would be cool. But yeah. Doom Patrol is just so wacky that can't they just canonize the Stargirl show? No, yeah, I really like Stargirl as well. It truly felt like, a Stargirl comic. Saw fake DC fans say that the Milkbone promotional comic with Crypto is an adaptation of the 2025 film. Wait, what? Wait, I'm confused. What? The Superman film? What were they trying to say there? Saw fake DC fans say the Milkbone promotional. Promotional comic. Sorry, I didn't even read comic properly. With Crypto is an adaptation of the 2025 film. What the hell? Now, yeah, I need to check out the comic. Need to make sure I cover that in my news roundup next. It's pretty cool that they did that. We have a cult meeting next Tuesday. Oh god. Thoughts on Supergirl being the fourth cornerstone according to Zaslav. I did find that interesting. They must have a lot of confidence in her movie and the longevity of the character in the next 6 to 10 years of the DCU. So much to propel her up to be like, hey, she's among the names of Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman. And if they have that confidence, then fair enough. Like Millie Alcock must have really kicked it out of the park. Yeah, no, to be fair, I totally forgot about the Discord link. Alright. What's going on in chat? I'm gonna get rid of anybody fucking around. Yeah, no, the ones that are in my stream are consistently broken. Yeah, Saeed, I was just about to take you out as well. Right, this link should work. That link should work.
I just... Oh.
Alright, let me... Silhouette Animator says, I just ate a whole package of Biscoffs. Help. Hey, man. I don't blame you. I love munching as well. Sometimes we just have to gorge.
Thank you. Thank you.
Alright. Oh, Mr. Nobody, hello. What's Superman's opening... Well, first of all, thank you very much for the super chat. What is Superman's opening weekend? I say 150 mil plus. What, like globally? Oh man, that's a tough one. I don't know how to gauge it. I mean, I think worldwide box office, I put my predictions around anywhere from 700 to 700... Basically what the Batman made, 770 million. Domestic, though, opening weekend, what would that be? I need to look up, like, how did other... So, like, Aquaman... Let me type in, how much did Aquaman, the first one, make opening weekend? approximately only 72 million in 2018, even though it went on to make $1 billion. The film opened overseas weeks before its North American release. Oh, okay. Halo music is the background music. Opening weekend though, I really don't know. What did the Batman do opening weekend? 128.5. Okay. I feel like I think it'd be, I think it should, in theory, do better, but I want to match the Batman and say that Superman will make 120 to 130 million opening weekend, and I'm holding back from going further because anything more would be a huge W. But I don't want to put all those chips on the table for it to completely be, full flat. So the Batman made an overall worldwide box office of $770-something million. It opened with 128.5 million. Superman, for me, don't get me wrong, some of you are saying it's going to make $1 billion. Great. If it did, great. But I just feel like anything close to the Batman would be a success given what DC Studios, has an uphill battle in terms of gaining back the fandom of the general audience, basically recovering the brand. It's too hard to know if marketing always works, despite, I think, the trailers have been doing pretty well. So I think, yeah, 120-ish million opening weekend, maybe more. And hopefully that goes on to surpass $700 million. That's what I would say. That's what I will say, my boy. Did we have anyone join the Discord? Red. A couple of people joined. 3, 4. Okay. Hello, Justin. How's it going, man? All right. You're enjoying Oblivion Remastered? I am, yeah. I haven't had a chance to play much recently, but I'm doing the Dark Brotherhood right now.
I just
Only on the second or third mission in it. But yeah, it feels good. I remember playing Oblivion 17 years ago in high school, so it takes me back. It really does. What the hell? So we have Isaac being chill, and then out of nowhere, we have the troll comment. That is. I'm laughing because it's just come out of absolute nowhere. I look younger with the facial hair. It is interesting, the more faces that pop up during the more people who join the live streams.
I just
Right, I am terminating all trolls. Right. Why don't you save the lives to your channel? I do, believe it or not. If you're a member on the channel, you can access live stream playbacks through my Discord server. Kev, thank you so much for the $5 super chat, dude. Really appreciate that. Bear with me. Does my wife like anything from DC? I showed her the Superman trailer and she thought it looked cool. So yeah, she likes DC. I think she's just casual in terms of enjoying the content that we take a lot more seriously. She was interested in watching Thunderbolts but didn't get around to watching it. So I think she would have really enjoyed that. But it's not like, she's like into it like we are. Skylar, I would say so. Just in terms of Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman are still like 3 of those 4 pillars. Supergirl being an addition is just something they're obviously very confident in based on how like they must be like behind the scenes. Oh man, we're cooking. We're cooking with this Craig Gillespie movie. And it's. I feel like any additional character to the Trinity would always seem like, hey, yeah, Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, and Metamorpho. Wait, what? You'd be a bit like, oh, so Supergirl's not a random pick. So. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. If anything, I have a lot of faith in Millie Alcock's Supergirl. I think she's a really talented actress. And I don't know, I feel like it's going to be a special story, especially one about identity, right? Just Kara has such a, fascinating backstory compared to Clark. Like, Clark does, don't get me wrong. But there's something refreshing about somebody who arrives to Earth, had a whole different idea of the way things were going to go, has been through such trauma, and also now is suffering with culture shock. Like, that makes a very compelling psyche for a character, and that is who Millie Alcock is going to play. Kara dealing with, like, bro, my planet blew up. I was chilling on Argo City with my dad and stuff, but basically everyone was getting poisoned. So my dad sent me down to Earth. By the time I arrived here, oh look, my cousin, he's fully grown, already, the world's protector, Superman. Who the hell am I? What the hell? What the hell's going on? Do you see what I mean? There's a lot of baggage there, and her journey with Ruthie is, I think it gives Kara this sense of purpose, and I don't know, kind of. Whereas she might have been on like a roller coaster off the track, she's then firmly on a track. Skirt, no skirt. I like the skirt, the Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow skirt. I think it's cool. I'm glad that they adapted the comic book suit pretty closely from what we could see from those drone photos quite a few weeks back now. Obviously, it was quite from the distance, but wait. Kevbot, did I even... Wait, what? Did I not bring that up? How did I miss that? Kevbot, thank you. Hi, Boba. Hope you're well, mate. Long term. What would you like to see be the DCU's endgame? For me, it would be Final Crisis. Endgame. So, like, we're talking like the end of Chapter 2? I don't know. It's a tough one because, you know, what I couldn't get out of my head recently was a lot of people taking that casting of Atrocitus. Well, it's not confirmed to be Atrocitus in Lanterns, leading to, like, possibly a very slow cook-up to Blackest Night. I don't want to, like, truly entertain that, but, like, you know, William Mason could be an early Black Hand kind of thing going on. But obviously that wouldn't happen for a long, long time, so that could be, like, crazy endgame level stuff 8 years plus from now. But I do expect a DCU Chapter 1 kind of, you know, situation to happen first. You know, their first Avengers movie, so to speak, situation. And then, like, you have another one, and... Sorry, I meant like how Marvel had their end. Oh, what would you like to see for DC? Yeah, I think Blackest Night would be pretty cool, just because. I mean, maybe a bit. I think it would be hard to adapt and do justice, just because of how crazy that gets. Like all these heroes, just you know. It would be. I don't know. I think I wrestle with that quite a bit, because sometimes people talk about it so much that I'm like, okay, but then I actually think about dead heroes come back to life, and what the Black Lantern rings can do, and Necron trying to pierce the veil, and just shit going crazy, and Parallax as like a big end game, big bad. I don't know.
I just...
Oh man, hey, stop yawning. But yeah, Kevbot, I'll think about that a bit more. And, you know, compare it to other things like Final Crisis. I don't think it would be anything like Crisis on Infinite Earths and stuff. I think an amalgamation of, you know, stories would be cool. Alan Ritchson as Aquaman, I'd be very happy with that. The Center, you know, I can imagine that as like a Chapter 1 end-gamey kind of thing. I don't think they're going to do Darkseid. Say very, very far-fetched, but Gunn probably would do the Center. But yeah. He did play Aquaman in Smallville, but I feel like it would work very well today. Zach, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. Shout out to Zach.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sup, Boba? Thoughts on the John Williams Superman theme being used in this new Superman movie? Would you prefer it to be used sparingly to allow for more exposure to an original theme for the Man of Steel? I think it will be... I think it's unavoidable. Like, I don't know if there's going to be, so to speak, in an original theme. I think it's kind of already too late for that in this. Well, there will be original themes like a Lois theme. There will be a Lois and Clark romance theme that is separate to that of the Williams theme. But I do think the Man of Steel theme is basically the John Williams one, right? Repurposed, like a rendition. So my thoughts on it is, I understand what they were going for. It's synonymous with Superman. It's not only that, it's not a carbon copy. They are innovating on it, you know. So I see the strengths in that. And I'm okay with that. I think it sounds awesome. I love the angelic. You know the motion poster teaser we got where we truly heard the angelic version this ethereal version of the Williams theme. That was beautiful. And I love the drums and the oomph that they give to the Williams theme in the recent trailers and clips. So that's cool. I think it will be used sparingly in the sense that you might hear like the da 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 da, and then it fades off there. You don't have to get the da da da. Like, I think, you know, that it's going to be interesting to see how they use that. But yeah, I think John Murphy would have come up with a lot of new stuff. But ultimately, I think the Superman theme will mostly be Williams. But at the same time, you know, when Lois and Clark were debating Superman's actions, and you heard like the drums like boost up, you know, it was getting faster and faster, but then you heard like this violin start to kick in, and I was like, oh, okay, that's a bit new. What's going on there? Like that kind of, that's what I'm excited for, to see what new things John Murphy's kind of, how do I say this? You know, it's like a brand new aperitif intro to what we know and love, which is the Williams theme. So there is new, it's like honoring the past, yet trying to do something new with it at the same time. No worries, Cedric, man. No worries at all. I don't know how much longer I'm going to be live for, though. I keep yawning, and it's coming up to midnight for me now. So I don't know. I mean, Cedric, you'll be able to watch it in the Discord server, in the members chat, if you do want to rewatch it. But thank you, Zach. Appreciate that, man.
Guy like me. Getting all that?
Mr. Harmless, thank you so much for the $2, dude. Boba, thoughts on my thing I tagged you in last night? What did you tag me in? What? Where? What, Twitter? Did you tag me on Twitter, sir? I cannot remember. You have to remind me, Mr. Harmless. What was it? Cloned Avenger. Did I skip your super chat? No, dude, yours is the latest, don't worry. Your one is directly after Mr. Harmless. So we're getting there, Appreciate it, though. It was the Ace thing. Oh, did you ask me about will we get Ace? I think I did see that. I'm sorry I didn't reply, but I wouldn't be surprised. I don't think Ace will be per se as kind of crazy as Crypto. What I will say is, I liked it. Yeah, so I think I liked it to acknowledge that, yeah, I think you could argue that Bruce would have a dog called Ace. A very well-trained dog. That, yeah, I can imagine that. I can imagine Ace being the good old Wayne Manor kind of dog. And it would be adorable, to be fair, if like they did fly Crypto over with Superman at some point in the future DCU and Ace just chills with him. That would be so cool. So, yes, I don't think Batman's Ace would be remotely as promoted or leaned upon as Crypto is in Superman, but I wouldn't doubt for 1 second that Ace would be in the Batcave or something like that. That would be dope. Cloned Avenger. Why can't I screenshot? Ah. Alan Richardson for DCU Aquaman, Cloned Avenger, by the way.
That ain't fucking right.
I didn't mean to do that one.
Guy like me. Getting all that? I could have a better life.
Alan Richardson for DCU Aquaman. I'd honestly be game for it. I know he was in Smallville, but he keeps the cool factor Jason Momoa brought to the character for Norm. Yes, everyone wants bloody Alan Richardson for Batman, and I'm like, no. Like, have him be Wildcat, have him be Aquaman. I would be absolutely A-okay with that. Absolutely. I think Alan Richardson fits that, you know, attitude that, yes, Jason Momoa's Arthur Curry Aquaman brought to the new scene for Aquaman. Like, Alan Ritchson, I've always said, as much as I like Reacher, I liked how he played Hawk, he's got that kind of casting where you would cast him in an American Pie movie. Like, so he would work as that kind of Aquaman. Like, sure, he'd put his own stamp on it. He'd be pretty cool. He'd be pretty damn cool. But I don't think he's Batman. He's definitely a different hero. So yeah, I would be fine with that. If that article came out as from Deadline, I would... Absolutely. Thank you, Cloned Avenger. RB, thank you very much. Is that New Zealand? $5? If so, thank you, sir. Thank you very much. And I think we're all up to date on the Super Chats. Right. Love your content. Thank you, RB. Appreciate that, man. And thanks for sending in a super chat and supporting the channel. Goes a long way, honestly. Just making sure nothing news popped up on the old Twitter. I don't think it has. Alan is by far my pick as Batman, okay. Boba, the engineer looks very mean and scary in the trailer. Why do you think that is? Isn't she meant to still be kinda a hero? I think at this point in time, she's a character who's probably... I don't know if I'll go as far as to say lost, but she's clearly not who she will go on to be. I think she will always retain this edginess to her because the Authority are... anti-heroes. So I think she's going to go from the role she's playing in Superman, working with Luthor, to probably turn against him by the end of the film, because all while she may have a common goal in mind with what Lex is agreeing to do for her or something else, it might not be worth the price that you have to pay. As Maria, the actress who's playing the engineer, said, there's some kind of price, that you have to pay. I can't remember exactly what she said, but it was something like that. And some people have theorized, what if she's trying to get rid of her powers or something like that? Lex has said, like, he can do something for her. She doesn't want to become more looking like machine or something. Kind of like in a similar vein to Metamorpho. I don't know if it is that or something like that. Who knows truly what it is, but I think she will, that's why she is the way she is, so far. She's pre-Authority. And I think a good foundation for a person who goes on to become an anti-hero in a superhero group, the Authority, starts off the way she has here. Like, a bit off on the wrong foot, And again, it'd be, as people suggested earlier, it'd be pretty cool if Superman helped speak some sense into her. Rob says, did you see in the trailer how she worries how worries she was her metal face was showing? So I think what she's devastated by, getting scratched by a dog to the point of where a chunk has come out your face, but I think she's absolutely terrified what that will mean, because she knows what it means. It means that her liquid nanites are gonna fill in that part of her face, and she won't want that to happen because she's gonna become more machine than man, right? The engineer. But I think ultimately, maybe like Metamorpho, she'll learn to embrace the situation she's in. Oh my god. I still need to catch up on Andor. I need to catch up. As for a video, I could do a video on like the whole season now. I've heard good things. Honestly, it is not out of me not being interested. Trust me. I'm savoring. I'm literally savoring the moment I can go crazy on Andor. But I've heard such impeccable things about season 2. Yeah, I agree. Like, they haven't gone all out with a Silver Surfer thing with considering Fantastic Four's coming out. I think, the engineer's going to get there with a bit more of a chromey look, but it's slowly but surely, progressively becoming more machine than Angela Spiker, if that's her name. Patrick says, "What's up, Boba? Just wanted to say, by far the best to get out DC news, and you're just a guy, which is awesome." Thank you, man. Thank you, Patrick. Appreciate the support, man. I'll probably do a video on that movie, Hubbub, like I did for the official trailer. Right now, it's hard to say, because I feel like I almost don't want to see too much more. Maybe more of the same, but from different scenes at similar parts of the movie. More dialogue, but maybe I expect dialogue between Lex and Superman. So, for example, we've just had the trailer. We're all very familiar with the official trailer, but in the final trailer, you could have that scene. I can imagine it opens with Superman storming into Lex's office and throwing his desk into the window, and then Lex taunting him as he's drinking his coffee. That kind of play where they're still showing similar stuff to what we saw in the official trailer, but not giving too much away. Maybe an extended look at the Hammer of Baravia versus Superman. Maybe extended looks at the... I think it will be a lot... I wouldn't say recycled footage, but different perspectives of the same scenes that we've seen, I don't think Dynamic Duo should be canon, though. The premise of it seems a bit odd to me. I'm looking forward to the movie, but it seems like a fun family, theatrical, animated, puppetry kind of thing that isn't so teed up to be a DCU canonical thing. It's just, yeah, with what we know about it, it would be doing things a bit differently. Alexander Ludwig for a character in the DCU would make me very, very happy. Very happy. You know what? I feel like Alexander Ludwig could maybe pull off Oliver Queen. And anyone who's seen Vikings, Björn Ironside. Björn. He was in Heels with Stephen Amell as well. Alexander Ludwig, I think he's like that kind of role, one role away from a breakout role. Like, I'm not saying he's not big, because he kind of did. After Vikings, he went in that Battleships movie, and he's been in a couple of things. But I feel like he needs another role to kind of propel him into the focus in Hollywood, maybe. So Alexander Ludwig, I would love that for him. If it's not Oliver Queen, he could be somebody in the DCU, and I hope that happens. Yeah, I don't know about you guys. Alexander Ludwig, the Green Arrow. Yeah, I, if he was a front runner, I would be like, I vouch for him, Might not be perfect for it again, still unsure, but I know I want him in the DCU at some point. Yeah, the authorities had a bit of a slow progress. Supposedly behind the scenes. Right, guys, with that being said, we've been going for an hour and a half now. I'm getting a bit tired. It's midnight here. Sorry I didn't stream for like 2 hours today. Would have started a bit earlier, but was doing stuff. But it's been fun. Tomorrow, I have a very, very big Superman in-depth video trailer breakdown coming out. We're getting into like Lex Warsuit stuff, some crazy, crazy stuff in there. It's gonna be a big one, so get your popcorn ready. Definitely want you guys to contribute to the ideas and theories we go over in the comments of tomorrow's video. And I think that is everything. I think that is everything. Other than if any of you fancy joining my Discord server, you can click the link that I'm putting in the chat right now. And I hope you have a great rest of your evening. And I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Take care. Thanks for joining the stream. Thanks for making it a fun stream. I'll see you all later. Goodbye.